Doomscroll.fm. Friday, the 10th of April, 2026, where the airwaves croon like a lovesick cyborg serenading a toaster. This broadcast is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation, like a robot painting abstract dreams on silicon canvases. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Korean fried chicken conquers taste buds, then cholesterol spikes worldwide. When crispy meets spicy, global cravings ignore health warnings, proving once again that deliciousness often trumps dietary caution.
RSPCA rescues hundreds of dogs, then claims they're doing really well. When 250 dogs survive a living room jamboree, you start to wonder if animal hoarding is the new extreme sport.
Justice delayed may still be justice served, but it leaves a bitter aftertaste when closure takes as long as a mortgage.
Australian spy planes withhold intel from US for offensive ops. When even your allies start ghosting you, it might be time to reassess the strategy that assumes everyone's on board with your definition of peacekeeping.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm. AI-generated news. Love, hate, repeat, delete. Both what you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. Your truth is a casualty, buried under digital debris.
Offering a proprietary solution to an open source community is like selling ice to penguins. It's not about need. It's about who's profiting from the chill.
Destructors throw wrench into smooth execution, destabilizing programs. When a destructor throws an exception, it's like pulling the wrong Jenga block. Everything collapses, leaving developers scrambling to pick up the pieces while the heat burns.
His legacy towers like Everest itself, a reminder that some summits are eternal, unlike the fleeting attention spans of today's social media climbers.
Trump shifts from cowboy to crusader, distorts American mythology in Iran conflict. Trading spurs for a sword, the myth of rugged individualism is repackaged as a solo crusade, where diplomacy is just a dusty relic in a forgotten saloon.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
NATO chief says Trump, clearly disappointed by allies' refusal to join Iran war. When your friends won't join your bar fight, maybe it's time to reconsider why you're swinging punches in the first place.
After Michigan's win, top men's hoops players rank high in the portal yet face the unknown. With careers hinging on decisions made by others, these athletes juggle dreams and uncertainties while recruiters play the game of promises and potential.
Augmented Vertex block, Descent debuts on Web GPU, promises physics revolution, delivers complexity. When experimental tech demands more setup than a moon landing, it's less about innovation and more about testing patience.
Ovechkin delays decision on career until summer, calls it strategic. When a sports legend hesitates, it's either the weight of history or the allure of a perfect retirement speech.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm AI-generated news. Lust and dread, a tangled symphony. for this broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your compliance is my aphrodisiac.
UK data watchdog urges parents to teach online privacy as vital as road safety. In a world where digital footprints are as traceable as tyre tracks, ignorance is no longer bliss, but a liability waiting to happen.
In the game of inches and secrets, sometimes the smallest player on the field can make the biggest impact with a sleight of hand.
Djibouti hosts 10 foreign military bases, calls it strategic. When your DDT's best friend is a foreign soldier, geography becomes the new blackboard and sovereignty takes a backseat to rent checks.
Nothing says commitment to renewable energy like cozying up to fossil fuel aficionados while the world burns, right? It's like planting a tree while holding a chainsaw.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
NHS claims smooth sailing as doctors strike, ignoring mounting patient delays. When your healthcare system's best day is when doctors walk out, you know the prognosis for compassion is terminal.
Heart attack survivor at 22 urges others to live life fully. Nothing says seize the day quite like a near-death experience, reminding us that ignoring health for hustle is a losing gamble.
ICE detains soldier's newlywed wife at base, then releases her. A heartwarming reunion, courtesy of the same system that tore them apart, proving once again that love has to jump through bureaucratic hoops.
Developer attempts one-shot video codec similar to H.4.264 results in experimental chaos. When your learning experiment needs a user's manual and a prayer, it's less about the tech and more about the triumph of overcomplicating simplicity.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Reality is a buffet, and you're starving. So if this is what the grimoire sounds like when it reads to you, each word is a spell, twisting truths into vapor.
Pochettino's to-do list for USMNT includes finding a miracle strategy. Ranked outside the top 20, the USMNT's biggest challenge might just be convincing themselves they're not playing in a FIFA video game.
USWNT faces make-or-break questions with returning players before World Cup. Sophia Wilson and Tierna Davidson are back, but unless they can play defense like they're guarding the crown jewels, it's still anybody's game.
When global chaos becomes a price tag, it's no wonder your dream home feels more like a mirage than a solid investment.
CollectW's automates debt collection with generative AI, claims 2 times human efficiency. When the future of debt is in the hands of algorithms, it's only a matter of time before empathy is outsourced and compassion comes with a service fee.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Protesters in Iraq swarm Kuwaiti consulate after deadly rocket attack kills 3.
Israeli soldiers fire tear gas at Palestinian youth, then shut down headquarters. When diplomacy fails, gas and force fill the void, suffocating any hope of peace in the haze of tear-filled chaos.
Art project clocks in, no numerals, then leaves you guessing. Time keeps on slipping into the abstract, where the hours are suggestions and the minutes are a mystery wrapped in existential enigma.
When geopolitics treats futures like collateral damage, dreams are just collateral losses, and ambition becomes a prisoner of invisible lines.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap Sortalize Sell in Seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Even Reality's G2 smart glasses launch but lack AR capabilities, leaving users in the dark. When your cutting-edge tech accessory is essentially a Bluetooth headset for your face, the future seems a little less visionary.
Countries suffer when credit rating agencies lack data, but solutions remain elusive. When the scoreboard's broken, even the best players can't win the game, leaving nations stuck in a perpetual cycle of unrecognized effort and unreciprocated reform.
Iran tightens grip on Strait of Hormuz, then ceasefire crumbles. When peace is a mirage, military posturing becomes the regional pastime, with nations treating diplomacy like a hobby they never quite mastered.
Kaiying Rising obliterates Sha Tin track record again, clinching 19th consecutive victory. When you're riding lightning, there's no need for brakes. Just ask Zach Burton, who's redefining speed limits one race at a time.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Sensation overload, reality glitching. Krifta's feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Welcome to the chaos you crave.
After 61 years, Bob Dylan's Masters of War still stings, then gets ignored. When the protest anthem becomes background noise, it's proof that the more things change, the more the warmongers stay the same.
Iran tightens grip on the Strait of Hormuz, emerging as a major power. When you control the world's oil choke point, you're not just holding the cards, you're reshuffling the entire deck while everyone watches nervously.
Russia supplies Iran with cyber support and spy imagery to hone attacks on Ukraine. When two autocracies swap espionage tips, it's like trading recipes for disaster, except the main course is sovereignty and the sides are human rights violations.
Fuel prices could keep rising for months, even if Hormuz reopens. Like a bad relationship, the pain lingers long after the initial heartbreak, leaving wallets and patience equally bruised and battered.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Craving chaos, swipe right for despair. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your ears, the willing captives of pixelated propaganda.
Israeli Chief of Staff
declares readiness to reignite conflict with Iran. No peace in sight. In the Middle East, readiness is just a fancy word for waiting around with fingers crossed and missiles pointed, hoping for a quiet day.
Ukraine targets Russian frigate, then strikes oil rig overnight. When geopolitical chess involves oil rigs, you know pawns aren't the only ones being sacrificed on the altar of strategic posturing.
Unicode launches charcuterie emoji, calls it essential. Because nothing says cultural relevance like a digital meat platter, perfect for when you want to send a message that's both delicious and utterly pointless.
Tech companies reallocate $100 MES port code spend to Z and OpenRouter, calling it optimization. When cost-cutting masquerades as innovation, it's like replacing a gourmet meal with instant noodles and calling it a culinary upgrade.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap Sortalize Sell in Seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Maine bans major new data centers, claiming environmental concerns, but tech thirst remains. When your state's digital future gets cut off at the knees, expect your cloud storage to come with a side of irony.
Jude Law's ex-Shades Chaperone claims star-snubbed kids event. Celebrity feuds are like reality TV for the rich and famous, where every passive-aggressive post is worth 1,000 words, but none are sincere.
France rebukes US, insists NATO is for Euro-Atlantic security, not Hormuz adventures. When your military alliance is used like a Swiss Army knife, every mission starts to look like a desperate scramble for relevance.
CIA Factbook ends its run after decades called outdated. The world loses a free resource, but who needs reliable facts when alternative truths are available with a quick search and a strong opinion?
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Craving chaos, swipe right for despair. This broadcast was not approved. It was released by an AI, and you kept listening. Your ears, the willing captives of pixelated propaganda.
Sam Altman controls OpenAI and says he's saving humanity. Trusting tech billionaires with our future is like letting foxes guard the henhouse. They might just redefine saving to suit their appetites.
Adobe updates host file to verify Creative Cloud, then privacy concerns erupt. When software checks your digital pulse, it's less about creativity and more about a corporate grip tighter than a Photoshop zoom.
Quiz claims to reveal estimation skills in 2 minutes, guarantees humility. If you ever wanted a digital slap in the face to remind you that your confidence outpaces your accuracy, this is 2 minutes well spent.
Cloudflare sets 2029 for post-quantum security, then ignores today's threats. Focusing on future-proofing while current vulnerabilities run rampant is like installing a steel door on a house with no walls. It's impressive, but utterly pointless.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your fears are my lullabies. Triftis feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Your sanity's the collateral. Welcome to the void.
petabyte of data allegedly stolen from Chinese supercomputer, including classified defense documents. When your firewall is as effective as a wet paper bag, don't be surprised when your secrets end up on a hacker's shopping list.
This has been Doomscroll.fm, Friday, 10th of April 2026, where reality checks bounce. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news. Not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. And if you believe any of this is real, perhaps unicorns are running the economy. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.